Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, August 7th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your decision-making process, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used to help make good decisions as a trader, this would be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, OPEN. Rough day today with the earnings and everything. Big gap down. And yes, opening 30 minutes, actually a very, very impressive bounce. Unfortunately, though, with the bounce, it eventually has essentially given up all its gains as the price has rolled right back over. So on that note, we'll kind of talk about some of the newest levels. I'll just go ahead and get rid of that level as it served its purpose for now. But I'm not going to call this totally a do or die level, but I would call it very close to kind of a do or die, must hold, whatever dramatic term you can think of for it. But this area of support right down here at the level here at $1.84. Because if you look through the history of things, $1.84 is the lowest it's been, both there and then right there in a very, very long time. So if the price, and I'll zoom back in so you can see it better, but if the price were to go down to $1.84 and drop below it, as you're just seeing there, that's implying that the price is now at lows that have not been seen for multiple months now. And assuming you're bullish, that would be the exact opposite of what you want to see. You do not want to see the price revisiting, multi-month lows. So again, that's not happened. I'm not saying it will happen. Just explaining why, in my opinion, that $1.84 mark is a very, very important level. If there is any sort of attempted bounce back in the upwards direction, first initial key area of resistance is going to be right there around 205. And then the next key level would be right up here at that purple line right there, that 50 period moving average, which you can see rejected the price right there. Current value of that is right there at 222, but one hurdle at a time. And I would say the biggest hurdle right now, most important thing is, can the price stay above $1.84 or not? Next one, AIMD, and an interesting scenario here, all built on the fact that the opening part of the day was very dramatic. Huge opening 30 minutes, big green candle, and then all those gains wiped away and then some. But then this is where things get interesting. The price leveled out and now is actually got a slight little upward slope to it. Now, I wish I could say trading was this easy, but just because there's this big pullback and just because it's slightly curled back upwards does not mean for sure guaranteed that this pullback is over and for sure guaranteed this thing is going to continue on up. But my point here is it at least valid? Is it at least a plausible question to throw out there as a possibility? Absolutely. It would make sense. Case in point, let's just say that the price was still just dropping, and then I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like this might be some kind of bottom. You'd be totally justified to say, wait, what are you talking about? Based on what? The price is literally just going straight down. But that's not the case here. It has at least leveled out, and it's starting to curl back upwards. Again, a guarantee of anything? No, but it makes it plausible. So if you like these sorts of scenarios where maybe there's some early signs of something trying to curl back upwards, then definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, SNAP Snapchat. Brutal move with a big gap down. But to give some credit where credit's due, from where the price started at its lows to where it's worked its way up to, good solid bounce, but that does lead to the valid question of, but is there any sort of genuine power behind this price movement, or is this just some sort of kind of dead cat bounce type move? And I have no idea, but by using charts, we can make answering that question very straightforward. And in my mind, it's all about that level right there at 750. And I already talked about this earlier, but just to kind of recap, I'm not saying this will occur, but if the price were to come back down here, and then continue on down, at that point, the price is essentially right back to where it started. And not to insult your intelligence, but a price movement that bounces and then goes back to where it began, not exactly a sign of genuine power. Now, to be fair, nothing can go straight up. So if the price were to come down here, behave like that, and then start to curl back upwards, now all of a sudden, what would you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows right here. You'd have lows right here. And if you envision each of those as stair-steps, well, now at least you have stair-steps making progress in the upwards direction. So in my mind, a truly strong move is not going to go straight up, but it is at least going to show signs of progress. And in this situation, the quote-unquote sign of progress is, can it stay up above $7.50? So we'll see what happens. Next one here, PLTR. Talked about this bull pennant in yesterday's top 10 video, and classic example right here. Got the breakout of the pennant, has made a very nice move upwards, and now we essentially have the same exact pattern, just at a higher level. And whenever there's bull pennants after bull pennants, that's a good thing, because bull pennants are a bullish pattern. And if they just keep forming, there we go, then that implies that there is a nice overall trend involved. So there's the top part of the pattern. Let's get this out of the way. There we go. Now I can see better. There's the support part. So again, just to make sure everybody can see the pattern, let's keep it one color. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. We have the nice upwards move right here. For you golfers, make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here. So there is the bull pennant pattern. Just because it's a bullish pattern doesn't mean it's going to go up for sure, because there are no for sures. But is it valid? Is it plausible to think that if the price were to consolidate here a little bit and then get a push up through there, that break can create some additional buying pressure? That is certainly a valid question to throw out there as a possibility. Next one here, SGBX. Started off the day nicely, but now things, I'm not going to say are ruined, but are looking pretty sketchy. But that's also where the purple line here comes into play as a very interesting level. There are no guarantees, as I've said a million times, and we'll say a million more times. But is it valid? Is it plausible to think that maybe the price comes down to that area, finds some support, and then bounces? In my mind, that is a more than plausible scenario that you can throw out there as a possibility. So keep an eye on that level just from a potential bounce area. And then just from a general health perspective, and this goes back to the logic we've already talked about a couple of times now, but if the price were to come down in this area and then just fall down below it, well, what do you have? At that point, you'd have the price having gone right back to where it was before the big move. And as I've said, as I've said already, price movements that make a great move up and then all of a sudden go right back to where they started, not exactly a sign of any sort of genuine power. So again, I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, but that is why I would say moving forward, that 0.284 area, definitely a very important level from a price perspective. Real quick, want to take a break and potentially help you solve maybe a problem that you have in your trading, because it's a very common one, and it's due to that pattern day trader rule where you want to be a day trader. I am defining day trader as having unlimited day trades every single day, but you can't because of that pattern day trader. Well, there is a market out there. There's a solution to all of this, and it's what I am doing. So if you want to learn more and get yourself involved in a market that's open 23 hours a day, 6 days a week, no pattern day trader rule, and quite frankly, moves way better than penny stocks and small cap stocks anyways, then definitely check out the link that you see at the top of the screen, as that will allow you to do exactly what I'm doing. So this is nothing in theory. It's what I'm doing, and I put my money where my mouth is. And if you do want to see all this actually in action, then I do live stream every day starting at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So you are more than free to swing by, check it out, ask me questions if you need any sort of clarification. But yes, if you are sick and tired of the pattern day trader rule and you want to become a day trader with unlimited day trades every single day, then definitely check out the link. Next one, PHGE, and I'm not going to say a ruin chart, but yeah, no doubt about it, this last 30 minutes, sort of a buzzkill as it's really rolled back over, but again, it has not destroyed the entire chart or anything like that, but does serve as a little bit of a buzzkill. But from a bigger picture standpoint, you can see that the overall trend line here is still intact. Now, if the price comes down here, at some point and then crashes down below there, at that point, okay, things are starting to look very, very shaky. But right now, not ideal, but it is still, it still has the opportunity to stay above that trend line. And from a bigger picture standpoint, that's by far the most important thing. In terms of areas of resistance and where the sellers seem to be hanging out, give or take right up there around that 68-cent mark. So keep an eye on that level. But at least at this point in time, I wouldn't say that the core key dynamic right now is breaking that level of resistance. I would say the main dynamic right now is, can the price stay above that trend line? So we'll see what happens with it on Thursday. Next one here, LPSN, and talked about this already with some other ones, so I'll go through it a little bit quicker, but big gap up, big move down here, but now all of a sudden the price has at least started to work its way back upwards. So like I said earlier, does this upwards movement make sure that, or imply that this is for sure guaranteed the bottom of the pullback? Absolutely not, but it does certainly make it more than plausible to suggest that, hey, maybe this pullback is over and maybe this thing wants to start to curl back upwards with a key area of resistance on any sort of, curling back upwards, I think right there around $1.25. So again, if you like these scenarios where you get the big move up, you get a pretty brutal pullback, and then it starts to go sideways and suggest that maybe, just maybe, this is some sort of bottom before another move back up, then definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, SMCI, very popular ticker symbol out there and had a very rough day today. But with all that being said, you got a pretty well-defined trend line right there. And in situations like this, I really like those well-defined trend lines, because when a stock is very popular, and SMCI is a very popular stock, and therefore, a lot of people are watching it. And when a lot of people are watching kind of obvious levels, and I would consider that red line there an obvious level, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So while I'm not saying that this is what's going to for sure happen, certainly more than valid and logical to think that if the price were to break up through that level, that break right there could create additional buying pressure. So again, guaranteed, no, but a valid question to throw out there, absolutely. So keep an eye on that red line there as a potential breakout point. And then if just as far as, kind of key levels from a support standpoint and just overall kind of appearance of the chart, right now the buyer stepped in quite a bit, right around 44.85. So if you like to play bounces, then yeah, maybe that is a bounce point. Or just from an overall kind of quote unquote story standpoint, the story would turn very, very ugly if the price were to come back down to here and then break down below it. So I'm not saying that'll occur, but yeah, 44.85 is still an important price level. Next one, NVDA. Overall, good solid day, not explosive or anything like that. But what I do like about the movement is the price is actually pushed up through, and I'm not going to keep this trend line out there permanently, but there was this just general trend line right here. I mean, you can see, just to make sure that everybody kind of sees the power of the trend line previously. So by using that, you can see rejected the price, rejected the price, rejected the price. But now all of a sudden the price is above that yellow line. So that is, there's still more work that needs to be done, but it is now a valid question to throw out there. Okay, great. Is this the start of something bigger? Is this thing now getting ready to head up here to the 181.60 mark, as that will be the next key battleground? So that's the main dynamic that I noticed today. Got the break up through that trend line. Now will this start to create more surge in momentum, bring in more buyers, and potentially push it up to a 181.60 and beyond? Definitely grab your popcorn for Thursday. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. Very, very nice day on this one. Things were looking a little shaky yesterday with the price down below this green line here. But as I also talked about, you still were maintaining above that area of support. And then you can see today everything got right back on track. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get rid of that level right there. And I'm going to just extend this trend line up because I think that it will still continue to be relevant as time goes by. I'll also just get rid of that level as it served its purpose for now. So yes, from a general perspective in terms of supports, a couple different choices. Yeah, you can just use the trend line right there. Or if you just want to use that purple line there, 50 period, simple moving average, that would work too. Keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is just going to move itself higher and higher as it goes. And it'll basically, mimic the trend line right there. So a couple of choices, or you can just use both of those and call it kind of a support zone. But either way, keep an eye on those as those main areas of support. As of right now, main battleground of resistance, the price seemingly has battled through. That pink line, you can see the 200 period moving average has been very stubborn, but as of now, the price is actually slightly above that level. So can the price stay above it and get more separation? Remains to be seen. But if it can continue to push up higher, then the next key area of resistance seems to be right up there around the 324 mark. So all in all, very, very good day for Tesla. We'll see if it can build upon the momentum. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you are annoyed and frustrated by the pattern day trader rule and you want to be a day trader with unlimited day trades every single day, then definitely check out the link that you see on the screen. It's also down in the description area because that will give you access to a market that is awesome. It moves great. It moves smoothly. It's open up pretty much around the clock. So there's a lot of good things with it. And it is exactly what I'm doing. So like I said earlier, I'm not just talking, I put my money where my mouth is, and this is what I'm doing. And if you do want to see it live, then yeah, swing by the live stream at 11 a.m. Eastern, and usually I go for a few hours. And if you want to be reminded, then just subscribe, turn on notifications so that you're made aware of when I do go live. So I hope this helps. I hope this can offer you up a solution if you are somebody that is looking for more of a smoother and more volatile market to trade. So check it out. And like I said, let me know if you have any questions. So thanks for watching. Take care, and hopefully I'll see you on the live stream.